Yo, tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night that's fitting to take place April 26th in Kansas City, Missouri. It's going down at the T-Mobile Center, and as of right now, we have 14 fights to talk about. That main event is a bang out in the welterweight division between Garry and Carlos Prates. I do appreciate y'all for tapping in. This video right here, this is the full card breakdown and predictions. I'll do my absolute best as not to hold y'all ear hostage for too long, but you already know how that goes. You know what I'm talking about? Not necessarily sure what this lineup is going to look like come fight night, but this is the one that I have in front of me today. So this is very much so the one that we're going to rock with. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and dive into it, man. That first fight of the night, as of right now, that's a wild way to kick the card off, man. Damon Blackshear versus Aliatang Hai Lee, man. If that's how you pronounce it, if I'm saying it correct. I hate to mispronounce the Mongolian Knight's name when he's been so good for me in the past, you know, with a dog tag next to his name. I do not expect that to be the case, you know, a couple weeks from now. I keep wanting to say this Saturday night, but it's the following one. You understand what I'm saying to you? I do believe Damon Blackshear to be just a bit too much for Aliatang Ali. Absolutely everywhere and anywhere that the fight may take place. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I can't call it on how Damon's going to get this one done. If the finish presents itself, he'll take it. Bare minimum, unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1. I cannot put it outside the realm of possibility for Aliatang Ali. Aliatang Ali, however you say the Mongolian Knight's name. I cannot put it outside the realm of possibility for that young man to have a moment, if not a couple moments, in one of these rounds, if not in more. You understand what I'm saying to you? Damon Blackshear, the monster, is the pick over the Mongolian Knight to be the one to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm just not necessarily sure how he's going to go about getting it done. And Aliatang Ali, the Mongolian Knight, he's, you know, he's nobody's chump stop. Let me put it like that. I'm rocking with Damon, but not necessarily sure that he's going to be able to even justify this current price tag that I'm looking at of minus 345. You understand what I'm saying to you? He might look like a minus 180, minus 210 type situation, because the Mongolian Knight might find his openings and have his moments. But with that being said, the monster might wrap the Mongolian Knight the fuck up and get him out of there inside the distance via submission. I do not think, even though he has a significant height and reach advantage, I do not believe that he's going to find the, you know, the chin of the Mongolian Knight clean enough or with enough pop or power in his shot to clip and disconnect Aliatang Ali, the Mongolian Knight, from his consciousness. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the double play, Damon Blackshear, the monster, to get it done via submission or points, that's a solid one. Or Damon, you know, the money line right now at minus 345. I can fuck with that in the parlay. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's going to creep up to minus 500 and then exceed that. But I'm going to get my action on him, you know, before any of that takes place. Hence why we're getting this out the way right now. My apologies for taking so long on that. I'm finna crack this, roll one up, light it up, and burn this motherfucker down while we run through this card. Damon, the Blackshear, the monster at minus 345 is the pick to get it done over the Mongolian Knight, Aliatang Ali. Damon is 30 years old to Aliatang Ali's 33. Damon's 5'10" to Aliatang Ali's 5'5". And Damon has a 72.2-inch reach to Aliatang Ali's 66.5 and current plus 265 dog tag on the Mongolian Knight. The monster, the Blackshear, is the pick. Moving on. This is a rebooking. You know, this fight was scheduled and it was canceled. And it's been scheduled again. Hopefully, everything stays intact on both sides and we get to see this one rock. Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo versus John Castaneda. Sexy Mexi. It's El Guapo versus Sexy Mexi. -115, -115, even money. You know, I'm talking about 34 years old for El Guapo, 33 years old for Sexy Mexi, 5'9" for El Guapo, 5'6" for Sexy Mexi, 67 inches for El Guapo, 71 inches for Sexy Mexi. And I've wrestled, I've grappled, I've rolled around at nights with this one ever since it was booked the first time. And we're gonna rock with El Guapo. We're gonna take El Guapo to be the one to get this one done via unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1. And if he finds if the finish presents itself, we'll take that. You know what I'm talking about? But fight of the night, man. Fireworks from El Guapo and Sexy Mexi. As of right now, fight of the night contention. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion, it will be a contender for fight of the night. If somebody doesn't find a way to get somebody to fuck up out of there. You know what I'm talking about? I'm rocking with El Guapo, though. -115, -115, man. El Guapo versus Sexy Mexi. It's fitting to go down. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Timmy versus Roberto. What a fucking shit show. Twilight versus El Charro. Timmy versus Roberto. Boy, oh fucking boy. Timmy, the Twilight. There's no money lines available on his fight as of right now. He's 26 years old. El Charro, Roberto, 25 years old. $145 for Timmy, featherweight status. $155 for El Charro, lightweight status. This is a lightweight fight, right? Yep, this fight's gonna be at featherweight fight. This fight's gonna be at 145. So El Charro, Roberto, is coming down. To be determined on how that weight cut's gonna be. Oh man, this is a shit show. This is a fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with, not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's get that out the way first and foremost. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now we can go ahead and dive back into it, man. Fucking give me Twilight, man. Give me fucking Timmy Twilight Kuwamba, or however you say it, over Roberto El Charro Romero. However the fuck, whatever the fuck. Give me whoever the fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Nothing fucking spectacular about either one of these individuals. Let's run it real quick. He's coming off of two losses to Lucas and Oki. Boy, oh fucking boy. He's coming off a loss to Onama. That's a better loss than Lewis and motherfucking, to old boy and Oki, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? But, nothing hopping off the page over here neither, man. Let's talk about it. Let's run through fucking Roberto El Charro real quick together, man. You know what I mean? Pro bouts. 1, that's 4, 5, 6, 8, 12, 16, 26, 33, 59, and 61. 61 wins. Old boy Roberto El Charro is 8-4-1 up against opposition with combined records of 61 wins. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 25, 27 losses, and 2 draws. So he is, Roberto El Charro is 8-4-1 up against opposition with combined records of 61 wins. What was it, 27 losses and 2 draws? That's what he's talking about, coming off a loss to old boy Onama. Who, am I tripping? Tripping? Nah, he's fighting up the card. I ain't tripping. So, alright. That's gonna be fun in the locker room, backstage, moving around. Anyway, and Timmy, man. Timmy the Twilight. We rocking with Timmy the Twilight, man. 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, 14, 22, 29, 37, 51. Timmy is 8-3 up against opposition with combined records of 51 wins. 1, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 15 losses. I mean, there's no significant difference in the level of opposition that they've been facing. I get it, old boy, 61 wins, 27 losses, few more wins, few more losses, one or two more fights if I'm not mistaken, but it's worth saying that a lot of it comes from one individual. Like he was fighting 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 4-0, 4-0, 0-1, 10-2, 5-2, and then 26, 14-2. So the 2 draws, a whole shitload of the losses and the dubs come from this one individual. You know what I'm talking about? That he got up out of there. With that being said, there's no significant difference in the level of opposition that these individuals been competing against. You understand what I'm saying to you? Outside of their last match, that last matchup, like I said, the loss to Onama, I guess that's a bit better than Timmy the Twilight's loss to Lucas Almeida and the boy Balaji Oki, however you say Oki's first name. So he's on a 2-fight skid to them 2. This dude's on a 1-fight skid. He caught the dub over old boy that was 26, 14-2, and then he lost to the boy Patrick, who was 5-2. Man, oh man, what we gonna do with this one here, man? You hear my baby? The dog started barking. See, there's no money line for this one yet, man. I might have to check on. We're gonna come back to this one in just a second, man. We're gonna come back to this. I'm already giving these 2 individuals too much of my motherfucking time. You know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that one momentarily, and we're gonna move on. Evan Elder versus the boy Ahmad. I don't know how to say Ahmad's name. Lion of the Ring versus the Phenom. The Phenom, that was Vitor Belfort's name, wasn't it? The Phenom, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I'm gonna take Evan, man. I'm gonna take Evan. Yeah, the boy last fight, they ain't had no El Guapo on them. Was it even last fight? Money lines, but we gonna come back to that. Yeah, so I've been telling you everything that I'm seeing anyway. Ahmad, the Lion of the Ring, currently has a plus 260 dog tag next to his name, 29 years old, 6'1", 75-inch reach, 154 pounds, lightweight type situation. Evan Elder, the Phenom, currently a minus 325 favorite, 28 years old, $170, coming down from welterweight, 5'10", with a 71-inch reach. So, Lion of the Ring, Ahmad, he has a 4-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage for what it's worth. You know what I'm talking about? And 28 and 29, we're not talking about nothing there. I'm guessing he's the natural lightweight. I don't know a whole lot about this Ahmad character. You understand what I'm saying to you? Except for a little bit of tape I went back and watched. You know what I mean? With that being said, I know all that there is to, need to know about the other side of things with Evan Elder. And I'm going to rock with him to get this one done via unanimous decision. I don't like that price tag. Minus 325. I don't like that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I'm going to rock with him. I'm going to rock with the Phenom to get this one done. And I'm going to rock with him to get this one done via unanimous decision. 2 rounds to 1. I don't have a high level of interest in that fight, you know what I'm talking about, but for what it's worth, Evan Elder is going to be the pick. I just do not like that price tag of minus 325 at all. Not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. On to the next one. Boy, this is going to be a fucking car crash. Who's gonna come out of this collision? Anyway, Matt Schnell, Danger versus the Brick. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy fucking Flick. The Danger, Matt Schnell, is currently a minus 295 favorite. 35 years old. Buck 35, 5'8", with a 70-inch reach. Excuse me. The Brick, Jimmy Flick, currently has a plus 225 dog tag next to his name. 34 years old, 126, and 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Boy, oh boy, man. I get it. The Brick, Jimmy Flick, you know, he been getting caught. He been getting clipped. You know what I'm talking about? The ground and pound from Costa, the ground and pound from Johnson. I get it, man, you know. Nate got him out via decision. But see this arm triangle on Gordon and this flying triangle choke on Cody Durden. This arm triangle on Nate Smith. This arm triangle, this submission. I mean, the bull has a tendency to he has a tendency to show the fuck up when people wanna wrestle fuck, man. And Matt Schnell, I get it. He can crack. But see this, that left, this, he can crack and he can catch some folk. But like when you look at where he likes to do his best work, inside the distance and pretty much for his wins, definitely when he's getting his finishes, for the most part, man, it's via submission. It's playing around on the ground with somebody like Jimmy Flick, man. I think he's going to want to stay upright and try to knock Jimmy Flick the fuck out. Maybe I'm tripping, you know what I mean? Fuck a Matt Schnell, though, you know what I mean? Cody Durden got the ninja choke. Urseg knocked him out. Matus Nicolau, that's my guy, ground and pound. He caught the submission over Sumadurgi, who we had over old boy last night. Lost to Roy Val. Split over Tyson. Knocked out by, chokes out Jordan. Chokes out Luis. Split over old boy. You know what I mean? Like, I know folk is down on the Brick, man, but I'm not one of them, man. I get it. He lost the decision to Nate. You know, he hard triangle Malcolm. Got knocked out by motherfucking Costa and Charles via the ground and pound. The flying triangle over Cody, though. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about either one of these individuals, man. Nothing really jumps off the page as far as their resumes are concerned, man. It's really a pick your own poison type situation. When you have Jimmy Flick, Matt Schnell, you're talking about an individual in Matt Schnell who's what? 1-4 in his last 5 fights. You know what I'm talking about? Been finished a couple times in that little joint. And over here with Jimmy Flick, man. You know what I mean? Pretty much the same shit. 2-5 in his last 5, 2-3 in his last 5 fights and been finished a couple times, man. 35 to 34, 5'8 to 5'7. There's a 2-inch reach for Danger. 70 inches to the Bricks, 68, man. It is what it is. Give me Jimmy Flick, man. Give me the Brick. I'll take the dog tag. We in the dog house. You know what I'm talking about? I'll take the fucking dog tag. Give me the Brick, man. Give me Jimmy fucking Flick, man. You know what I'm talking about? Moving on. Women's MMA. And normally, I would say this is a complete pass for me. And this is a fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with. You know what I'm talking about? Women's MMA and all that. But La Pantera, anybody who's been over here in the doghouse with me, man, we just crept over a year, too. Because I started doing these motherfucking videos March. You know what I mean? Not the last card of March. last year. You know what I'm talking about? So when we kicked into March this year a little bit ago, we touched that year. Now in the April, we just passed, you know, we just stepped over that year, man. And anybody who's been here know how I feel about La Pantera, man. She's solid. She's well-rounded. She's proven that she can be fucking dangerous. But bare minimum, she's also proven to be very fucking consistent in there with the body of work that she puts out, man. You know what I mean? And I normally wouldn't have a high level of interest in a women's MMA matchup, you know, in certain cases, not all cases, man. But I'm interested to see how this one plays out, man. Chelsea likes to play the role of the bully, you know what I mean? And I think Jocelyn can be the matador, you know, that's they call it, the matador in there, moving this shit away from the motherfuckers and all that. I think she can sidestep, you know what I'm talking about, and catch the fuck out of Chelsea, man. Jocelyn might actually get this one done inside the distance, man. Chelsea gets frustrated. She doesn't like getting hit when things aren't going her way. She can kind of fall apart a bit. Jocelyn, complete opposite. She'll stay composed. She'll keep it calm. You know, she's the more technical practitioner. She's the one that, you know, the more diverse in every department, in my personal opinion. She's fucking nasty. I like her. She's solid. She's well-rounded. And she knows how to get the fucking job done. So give me Jocelyn Edwards. You know, unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if we found ourselves in a clean sweep, you know, 30-27 type of situation all the way across the motherfucking board. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's the kind of work I think she could put on Chelsea. You know what I mean? So give me La Pantera, however you say it. Give me old girl to get this one done and possibly to, you know, have some moments where she can really shine and maybe find this finish inside the distance from catching, clipping, and disconnecting Chelsea, man. You know what I mean? Because not for nothing, Jocelyn can crack too. She possesses a bit of pop in each and every one of her individual shots. You know what I'm talking about? So it is what it is, man. Minus 205 to Chelsea's plus 165. 29 to Chelsea's 34. You know, 5'8" to 5'8" and 70 inches to Chelsea's 68, man. Jocelyn's the pick. Moving on. Cameron Simone versus Malcolm Wellmaker. The Machine versus MSP. And I get it, some individuals might be a bit down on MSP. I'm not one of those individuals, you know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, you know what I mean? You have to take into consideration who those 2 losses come to, and then flash back to how high you were probably were on this young man when he came into the UFC. And rightfully so, because he came in, you know, producing a beautiful body of work along the way. And when he entered, he did the same thing, you know what I mean? He ran into that, you know, roadblock that most prospects do in Christian Rodriguez. And then he ran into Peyton Talbot too. It is what it is. For that level of opposition, how well do we feel like the Machine, Malcolm Wellmaker, would have done? We can assume. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, though, man. You know, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 3-2-1, 4-4, 11-7, 5-2, 13-2. He's starting to work his way into a, you know, a somewhat decent level of opposition, man. You know what I'm talking about? The same was said about Cameron Simone when he came up in here. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, man. MSP is a plus 110, 24 years old, 5'8" with a 67-inch reach. The Machine, Malcolm Wellmaker, is a minus 130, 30 years old, 5'10" with a 71.5-inch reach. And if I am not mistaken, the Machine is making his UFC debut off of the Contender Series. And when will we learn? Cameron Simone at plus 110 is the pick, and I cannot wait to parlay that shit up ASAP today so I can get that plus money number, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's why we do this shit early, man. And plus money numbers be good, man. I try to tell y'all about Dan Ige, man. I try to tell y'all about Dominic, that Danny and Dom back-to-back dogs doing what the fuck they need to do. Some of these situations are just a bit easier to read, in my personal opinion, than others, man. You know what I mean? The route to victory is easier to see. But moving on, women's MMA and all that. This is a fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with. Not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. We are going to talk about it, though. Two Brazilian young women. You know what I'm talking about? Jacqueline and Poliana. Jacqueline's 9-1, Poliana's 13-7, but we know Poliana's been over here, you know, competing in the UFC for quite some time, and that's what'll happen to your record when you come over here. You know what I mean? She came in with 1 loss, and then she accumulated 6 more. So, you know, got to see what Jacqueline's record looks like, you know, 10 fights from now if she's still blessed to be inside the UFC octagon making that walk. And then we can have that talk. You know what I'm saying? To be determined for all of that. As of right now, Jacqueline has made that walk 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and she is 3-1. You know what I'm talking about? And with the last one being a controversial one over Vanessa, if I'm not mistaken. Not really sure how that appeal worked out, because I know she was, and her coaches were screaming appeal over that glove grab or whatever was happening in that situation there when she caught that submission. But fuck all that. Let's talk about this. Jacqueline, minus 360, currently 29 years old, 5'3" with a 68-inch reach. And Poliana's currently a plus 285 underdog, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 67-inch reach, and for a fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with and I have absolutely no level of interest in. Give me Jacqueline to be the one to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe she finds another finish inside the distance via submission. Maybe she gets this one done via decision, but I'll rock with her. Moving on, Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby, man. Rude Boy versus the Danish Dynamite. And I'm rocking with Rude Boy, man. I'm rocking with Rude Boy to get this one done. Unanimous decision, 2 rounds to 1, and don't be surprised if Rude Boy finds a finish inside the distance and gets this one done. You know, via catching, clipping, disconnecting Nicholas Dalby, which has never happened from his consciousness, or club and sub type of situation, finding the submission. Nicholas Dalby's, all of his losses come via decision. So maybe Rude Boy is the first one to catch, clip, and disconnect him from his consciousness, or put him in a club and sub type situation to find that finish inside the distance via submission. Or maybe he just beats him once again and is the 6th man to do that via decision. You know what I'm talking about? Rude Boy currently a minus 205, 34 years old, 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. Danish Dynamite currently a plus 170 underdog, 40 years old, 5'11" with a 74.5-inch reach. And you know, I don't have a whole lot bad that oh, that dryer about to go crazy. Ain't you hear that, motherfucker? Bro, calm down. Motherfucking blankets in that bitch. You know, not for nothing at 40. I'm 42, fitting to be 43 in July. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't want to really, you know, get on a motherfucker for that. But Dalby, in my personal opinion, we've seen his best days are behind him. His prime time is definitely behind him, and he is exiting his prime. While Rude Boy at 34 years old, very much prime time Rude Boy. He just keeps getting better. And if I'm not mistaken, that last one was against Battle, right? He won that fucking fight. Maybe I'm being a bit biased, but I thought he won that fight, and I feel like he felt like he won that motherfucking fight. I feel like a lot of people felt like he won that fight, and it's unfortunate that Nicholas Dalby has to be his next fight. Had it been somebody else, had it been Nicholas Dalby at 34 years old, like Randy Brown's 34 years old, and Randy Brown was 8 years old, we'd probably be having a different conversation. But that's not the situation. And I just feel like Dalby's best days are behind him. Brown's best days are in front of him. We may very well see one of his best performances on the 26th. I'm rocking with Rude Boy or Randy Brown to get this one done over Danish Dynamite, man. You know what I mean? With all due respect to Danish Dynamite. Now here we go. They finally rebooked this fight, and give me that big motherfucking dog, man. Huh? Give me that fucking big dog at plus 450, man. Give me Andre Muniz, man. Give me Andre to be the one to go in here and get this one done via KO, TKO, or via submission. And if that motherfucker Ikram manages to survive, give me Andre to be the one to get it done via unanimous decision, man. 3 rounds to none. 30-27 if it goes 15 minutes. I don't think Ikram gets a motherfucking opportunity to have any fucking moments, man. Andre's going to drown him, man. Andre might get something off while he's stringing a combination together to work his way in to go ahead and get entangled with this young man and get him to the ground. Andre gonna get him the fuck up out of there. That big dog gonna bark, man. Now I'm talking about, I told people, one thing has nothing to do with the other, but it's all worth consideration. Everybody wanted to be real high on Ikram because he came into the UFC and his one and only loss was to Khamzat Chimaev. But please go back and watch that fucking fight with him and Khamzat Chimaev. I've watched it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dozen motherfucking times. It's absolutely horrendous from both sides. The mixed martial arts from both sides is fucking trash. You know what I'm talking about? They were standing and banging instead of you know, Khamzat wasn't using the wrestling and grappling for the most part. It was a stand, and it was horrendous. They looked fucking horrible. They looked fucking sloppy, and Khamzat just managed to be the one to get him. Anyway, he came into the UFC. Jokers was high on him for that, you know, and he accumulated a little bit of steam. You can almost call this like Steve Erceg, set up for failure kind of steam is what Ikram got. You come in and you what? You knock out Phil Halls and Warley Alvarez, and now you're fighting a former fucking champion and Robert Whittaker. You know what I'm talking about? You're fighting one of the pound-for-pound fucking greatest of all. It's like Robert Whittaker's that fucking guy, man. And you're coming in there as a favorite against Bobby Knuckles because of his latest at that current time situation and run. Like, that roller coaster of a road was still a roller coaster of a road up against the individuals that Bobby Knuckles was up against, and you have to take that into consideration. You know what I'm talking about? One thing has nothing to do with the other, but it's all worth consideration. You want to consider his one and only loss being a Khamzat, but you don't want to consider what the fuck Bobby's been going. Like, come on, man. So we cashed on that plus money number. And watch us cash at this even juicier plus money number of 450. Bro, you fought absolutely fucking nobody, and you lost to Khamzat. 4-2, 1-4, 1-1, 3-3, 9-4, 4-0, 3-0, 12-3. Khamzat gets you up out of there. 20-13. Dennis Tululin, 9-4, 11-3 over this. Go look at these jokers now. You know what I'm talking about? 19-11, 15-2, and then you fight Phil Halls. That gets you to the big show. And then you fight Phil Halls. And then you fight Warley Alvarez, and now you got to fight Robert Whittaker. That's like Steve Erceg fought, you know what I mean, what's his name, and knocked out Matt Schnell, and then now you're fighting Alexander Pantoja. Well, you know what that happened. You know what it does to you when you get shot up there like that, and it's, you know, nothing but wolves to fight, man. And I'm not saying that, you know, Andre Muniz is one of those wolves. He's one of those gats in the division, but, you know, he 24-6 for a reason. You know what I mean? He got 2 times, what's that boy, 12-2? This boy got 2 times the amount of fights just in victories over here. You understand what I'm saying to you? 15. He's got more submissions than that young man has fights. You understand what I'm saying to you? It is what it is, man. He's got 5 knockout losses and 1 submission loss, no decision losses, because if it goes to the decision, that means he stayed safe, he implemented his game, and he grinded that thing the fuck out regardless of how anybody felt about it. You know what I'm talking about? So if it goes to 15 minutes, he's winning this motherfucker, and he's probably winning at 30-27. He's not getting submitted by Ikram. Them 15 submissions better have you worrying about him submitting Ikram. You know what I'm talking about? And, you know, it's a motherfucking fight. He's got 5 knockout losses out of his 6 losses, so maybe Ikram finds that chin, but I'm one to think that he's not going to give Ikram the only opportunity Ikram has to win the fucking fight. He's going to do his absolute best and put his best foot forward to make sure that does not happen. You know what I'm talking about? And come on, man. You know? It is what it is, man. But he's been here, and he's been competing at a higher level of opposition for quite some time, in my personal opinion. He's just different, man. You know, 32 years old for Ikram, 35 for Andre. No, 6 foot for Ikram, 6'1" for Andre. 76 inches for Ikram, 78 inches on the reach for Andre. Andre's takedowns, Andre's takedown entries, Andre's grappling, and Andre's jiu-jitsu, all fucking legitimate. And then you mix that with the fact that he has pop in his shots and he can fucking crack. It's a recipe for disaster for somebody like Ikram. Because he's going to be worrying about the takedowns, and that's when he could get fucking crack clipped and disconnected from his consciousness. Club and sub type situation. Andre Muniz could find himself on top, ground and pound, silverback type shit, man. Just give me the big dog. I'm not high on Ikram. Call it a fade on Ikram. Call it what you want. We are in a doghouse, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just glad they booked this fucking fight again, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad they booked this fucking fight again because I wanted this big dog at plus 450 and now I get him back, man. He crept up as high as 550, 600 last time, and I intend on motherfucking, you know, putting something on that and parlaying and using that as my most confident picks, and then bow, smacking that on top of there and duplicating the ticket, smacking that on there as a dog leg and letting it boost that payout through the fucking roof and watch him bark, man. That's all. I'm done. I'm done. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm sure y'all tell me about myself. But make sure you tap back in on Sunday, the 27th, to, you know, rub it in y'all chest the way I like. I'll have no problem rubbing it in mine. You know what I mean? The I told you so's come. But the, yo, you got that one. They don't come so often, man. This is going to be one of them. Got that one. It's going to be crickets, though. I already know, because nobody likes to admit when they fell victim to a plus 450 dog, and boy, oh boy, come the 26, he's going to be like a plus 550, 600, 590, 610. Ew. And I'm going to be all over it. Moving on. That's the big dog. Moving on. We have Giga Chikadze taking on David Onama, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. This is a tough one. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't have a whole lot bad to say about either one of these young men. You know what I mean? Giga Chikadze is currently the ninja versus the silent assassin. The ninja's currently underdog with a plus 150 dog tag next to his name. Excuse me. And the motherfucking silent assassin, minus 185 favorite. So Giga, 36, 6 feet tall, 74-inch reach. David, 30 years old, 5'11", 74-inch reach. Giga's been in there with the gats, man. Arnold Allen coming off that loss, nothing to frown about. Alex Caceres, that's not a win to call home about, though. You know what I'm talking about? Calvin Couture, I mean, you know, to each their own. I'm not a fan of that squad over there. You know what I'm talking about? So, it is what it is. I don't rank that as a good loss, but it is what it is. Now, Edson Barboza, Cub Swanson, those are good wins no matter when you get them. You know what I mean? You start talking about a couple years from now if they were still kicking it and you go get them. It's different, but 2021, man, Cub and Edson, those are still they're still good wins, man. Over here with David, he hasn't fought those type of individuals, you know what I mean? Mason Jones was on his little Mason Jones and Nate Landwehr. He lost to 2 fucking junkyard dogs, didn't he? You know what I mean? Knocks out Gabe. Triangles, Garrett, uppercut Santos, that's a good one, you know what I mean? The decision over Pierce, and he did the boy down the card, Roberto, a little bit dirty, man. You know what I mean? Shit. The Ninja versus the Silent Assassin. Kings MA versus Glory MMA and Fitness. Ain't this about a bitch? It's gonna be a good fight, man. This is gonna be a good fucking fight, man. This is gonna be a good fucking fight. Shit. Shit. It's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be a real fucking good one. As you can tell, I can't get it together on this one. I can't figure myself out on this one. It's gonna be a good one, though. Dang. See, I feel like Giga's a better striker. You know what I'm talking about? But I feel like David is a better mixed martial artist. You know what I mean? I feel like David can be problematic, man. I feel like David can be problematic. He's no sucker, you know, on the feet. He no chump stop in that department. He's solid everywhere. A bit more well-rounded, I think, than Giga. Giga is the better, more, you know, cleaner and crisper striker. But I actually think David's a bit faster, might actually hit a bit harder. It's just how clean and accurate Giga can be. He places that motherfucker perfectly. He doesn't need to have the power that motherfucking Onama has. You know what I'm talking about? Shit. Give me David Onama, man. Give me the silent assassin to be the one to get this one done via unanimous decision. 2 rounds to 1. Maybe it's a split. Maybe it's a split majority type situation, but I'll still go ahead and rock with the silent assassin to be the one to get the nod. You know what I'm talking about? The Ninja's currently a plus 150, and David Onama, the silent assassin, is a minus 185. Slight favorite, and that's what I'm gonna go ahead and rock with, man. Swap out option should be applied, in my personal opinion, when we're talking about betting and parlaying. Moving on to the next one. The same can be said about the, my fault. I like a piece of motherfucking bud in my mouth or something. The same can be said as far as the swap out option being applied to this fight as the last fight. Giga and Onama, when you betting and parlaying, you absolutely need to duplicate the ticket and apply the swap out option. And in my personal opinion, you need to do the same with this fight right here. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Michel 31-12, Abus 27-6-1. Michel 31 years old, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Abus 34 years old, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. This is gonna be a good fight. This is gonna go one way or this could go 1 of 3 ways in my personal opinion, man. You know? This could be fight of the night if it goes the distance. This could be the sleeper or the boring. My motherfuckers want to just fall asleep on this motherfucker because they're both just acting a bit too timid. You understand what I'm saying to you? Oh. Or, you know, this could be knockout of the night type situation. This should be a spectacular finish type situation. Ah, man. We in the doghouse. I'm taking another dog, man. Give me the plus 130 slight underdog in Abus Magomedov, man. 31-34. We're not talking about no youth advantage right there. One might be entering his prime, and Michel, one's very much in his prime with a boost. They may both may very well just be in their primes, and we're gonna see who's better, whose prime time is better on the 26th. And I'm gonna rock with a boost, man. I'm gonna rock with a boost to use Michel Pereira's forward aggression against him and possibly catch him clip him and disconnect him from his consciousness, or at the bare minimum, use that 5 inches in reach and keep Michelle on the end of his motherfucking strikes, man. And when Michelle tries to engage in the wrestling and grappling, I think Abus is solid enough there defensively to keep it upright, and offensively to possibly find a submission in his own right inside the distance. This is going to be a good fight, man. A good fight, and I'm really interested to see how it plays out, man. You know what I'm talking about? Give me the slight dog at plus 130. Abus Magomedov, man. Moving on. My God, I hate to see price tags like this. When I see price tags like this, man, it almost makes me want to motherfucking do something with the underdog. Fuck is my lighter at? Ah. Damn it, man. So let that motherfucker in the car. That's alright. You know, we right by the kitchen, so we just gonna have to use these motherfucking junkie sticks real quick. Snatch these matches up. Lionheart, man, versus the Mountain Tiger, man. It's the Lionheart versus the Mountain Tiger. Huh? The Lionheart versus the fucking Mountain Tiger, man. Lionheart! Come on, man. Lionheart, blood sport, kickboxer. Oh my God, man. Double take when he was playing like his twin brother. Boy, what? Jean-Claude Van Damme was that guy, wasn't he, man? And the skinny Steven Seagal, above the law, out for justice type shit. You know what I'm talking about? Lionheart versus Mountain Tiger, man. I don't like these tags, man. I get it. Lionheart's on his way out. You know, his prime time is far behind him. His best days far behind him. But he's still nobody's chump stop. He still get a motherfucker, you know, that don't belong competing on this level of opposition just yet the fuck up out of there, like he did to a Vitor Petrino. You know what I mean? Roman Delite, Dominic Reyes, you know, Khalil Roundtree, Glover Textera, Johnny Walker. These are all Magomed Ankalaev individuals. You know, the Devon, the Jimmy Croup, man. You know, he was coming into it back then. Listen, I get it. Anthony Smith's best days are behind him. And Ming Yang Zhang should knock him the fuck out. He should catch him, clip him, and disconnect him from his consciousness. You know, he's been choked out. He's been knocked out. He's been choked out a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It's not outside the realm of possibility that Anthony Lionheart Smith comes in here one last time, gives us one last, you know, solid performance, finds the finish inside the distance in magnificent fashion, and then takes his fucking gloves off and walks the fucking way. It is not outside the realm of possibility, man. You know what I mean? This is his 60th fight. He is 37 and 29. 37 and 21. Yeah. No. This is going to be his 59th fight, right? Am I tripping? 59. I'm 57. 20, yeah, 58. This is going to be his 59th fight, man. Maybe he wants to see 60, but if he goes out here and he's able to find a finish inside the distance as a significant underdog, one of the biggest underdogs on the card, maybe the biggest underdog on the card, he'd probably take them gloves off and ride out on that high note. You know what I'm talking about? So, Ming Yang Zhang, the Mountain Tiger, is the pick to be the one to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. More times than not, inside the distance via catching and clipping Lionheart from his consciousness. If it goes the full 15 minutes, Lionheart probably, Lionheart did stay safe and was probably able to implement his game and get it down to the ground and put Ming Yang Zhang in some compromisable positions. But with that being said, if Anthony Lionheart Smith gets Ming Yang Zhang down to the ground, he may only need to put him in one compromisable position to get him out of there via submission inside the distance. So Ming Yang Zhang, the Mountain Tiger, is the pick, but at minus 530, I want absolutely nothing to do with it. It's already, I don't want anything to do with it, man. Haymaker, Hail Mary, we can talk about it. Other than that, I don't want anything to do with this motherfucking fight, man. Moving on, Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. We have the Future versus the Nightmare. And the future is about to be a nightmare for the nightmare. The future is going to leave the nightmare with nightmares for nights after the 26th. The nightmare is going to be having nightmares, tossing and turning and rolling up on the fucking 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th of motherfucking June still. You know what I'm talking about? He going to go all the way through May. June, he's still going to be having nightmares about the future. That's what the future will do. He will give nightmares to the nightmare in the future over what he does to him in this octagon. Ian Machado, Garry, inside the distance via submission. Maybe he finds the motherfucking finish inside the distance via catching, clipping, and disconnecting him from his conscience because he hasn't worried about the all-around body of work that he's going to be implementing in there. Maybe he goes 15 minutes and he just beats the shit out of him for a unanimous decision. 3 rounds to none, 30-27, cleans 5 rounds to none. This is 25 minutes. Carlos Prates is not surviving 25. This is 5 rounds, man. It's 5 rounds. We made it to the main event. I'm like, what the fuck? It's main event. God, I wasn't even paying no mind. We at the fucking main event. Well, there you go, man. Huh? We at the fucking main event. I'm looking at this motherfucker like it's the co-main or something else. It's Ian Garry inside the distance via submission. Give me the finish in the 3rd or 4th round. You know what I'm talking about? Carlos Prates is not making it 25 fucking minutes. I thought about it maybe for 15. He's not making it 25 minutes with Ian Garry, man. It's not happening. It is not happening. You understand what I'm saying to you? It is not happening. Ian Garry is going to be the one with the wrestling and grappling advantage. Ian Garry is going to be the one with the jiu-jitsu advantage, in my personal opinion. Ian Garry is going to cut the angles and, you know, have proper entries for his takedowns when he wants to engage in the wrestling and grappling. He's going to cut the angles on the feet. Carlos Prates is, he's going to have a bad fucking night. And just somebody get that young man in Newport ready, because he's going to need it. You know what I'm talking about? He's fucking losing. Ian Garry's the pick. You know what I mean? That's that with that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We have a 14-fight card. The future, Ian Garry, -125 favorite. 27 years old, 6'3" with a 74.5-inch reach. The Nightmare, Carlos Prates, currently a +100 underdog. 31 years old, 6'1" with a 78-inch reach. He has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Old boy has a 2-foot height advantage, 2-inch height advantage, and a 4-year youth advantage for whatever it's worth. 27 and 31. The Nightmare versus the future, and I have the future giving nightmares. The nightmares in the future after what he does to him in this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? That's that with that, man. 14-fight card, and we have 1, 2 slight dogs so far. 2 slight dogs, 1 even pick'em, 1 moderate dog, and 1 big dog. And then 1 to be determined, because let's slide on back down here real quick to Timmy and fucking Roberto. Twilight and fucking El Chorro. El Chorro. Timmy Twilight and Roberto El Chorro. So 2 slight dogs, 1 moderate dog, 1 big dog, 1 even pick'em, and 1 to be determined. You know what I'm talking about? And 8 favorites, because there's 14 fights, right? So 8 favorites, 1 even pick'em, 1 to be determined, 2 slight dogs, 1 moderate dog, and 1 fucking big dog. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how this motherfucker's going down. The to be determined is Timmy. Timmy, the Twilight, is to be determined as far as underdog or favorite. You know what I mean? Well, matter of fact, I'll go check the app here in a second. We'll pull that up. Well, I got y'all motherfucking ears still. You know what I mean? We'll pull that up and see if Timmy is a underdog or a favorite, if they got this motherfucker listed anywhere yet. You know what I'm talking about? So let's run through this motherfucker real quick, one more again from bottom to top. You know what I mean? Kicking the card off, we got a -345 favorite in Damon, the Monster, Blackshear to get it done over the Mongolian Knight, Aliatang Ali. Following that, we have our 1 even pick'em with El Guapo to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion over Sexy Mexi. Moving on, we have our to be determined and Timmy the Twilight to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion over Roberto El Charro. After that, we have the Phenom, Evan Elder at -325 to get it done over the Lion of the Ring, Ahmad. After that, we have our moderate dog and Jimmy the Brick Flick at +225 to find a way to get it done over the Danger, Matt Schnell. Then it's La Pantera at -205, Jocelyn Edwards to get this one done. 3 rounds to 1, possibly finding the finish inside the distance and shining. Moving on, we have MSP, Slight Dog, +110 to get it done in some way, shape, form, or fashion via unanimous decision more times than not over the machine, Malcolm Wellmaker, and take his O away from him. You know what I'm talking about? Following that, a -360 in Jackie to get it done over a +285 Pollyanna. Then it's Randy Rude Boy Brown at -205 to get it done over Danish Dynamite's Nicholas Dolby. Excuse me. Then we have our big dog, and the dog just barked outside too. You already know what's going on. We over here in the doghouse. This big dog is absolutely fucking necessary in my personal opinion. And we rocking with him at +450. Andre Muniz to be the one to get it done over Ikram's bitch ass. You know what I'm talking about? Take it how you want to. Love it or like it. Rub it in your fucking chest. I do not care. Fuck him. You know what I mean? And I hope my baby chokes him the fuck out. It'd be even nastier to watch him knock him the fuck out when he's worried about the takedown. But I'll take it. Moving on. We're going to take the Silent Assassin at -185. Cautiously over the Ninja, Giga Chikadze. Then we have a Slight Dog. Abus Magomedov at +130 to get it done over Michelle Piera, with all due respect. Then it's Ming Yang Zhang at -530, the Mountain Tiger, to find a way to get it done over the Lionheart Anthony Smith's current +380 dog tag, but I am rooting for Anthony Lionheart Smith. And I will have a dog play on Anthony Lionheart Smith just because he's deserved it and he's earned it. You know what I mean? And at +380, I'll let it get to like +400 or something because it's going to make it. And then I'll shake a little something on it. On to the main event. We rocking with the Future at -125. Ian Garry to give the Nightmare, Carlos Prates, nightmares in the future from the performance that he's going to put on. You understand what I'm saying to you? And the lack thereof that the Nightmare is going to be able to produce, man. And I do see Ian getting the finish somewhere in the 15 to 20, 20 to 25 minute range. You know what I'm talking about? So that's that with that, man. That's the full card breakdown and predictions. And hold on, man, before I tap out, I did tell you I was gonna see where Timmy was sitting at, right? Where you sitting at, Timmy? Let me get up out of here real quick. Boot bow bit. Let me slide over here real quick. There's a wildin' out on the TV out there. It's either wildin' out or ridiculous for whatever reason. That's just how it be. Until I put something on. That's just what's on the TV. The dogs be out there geeking out off that shit though. And I'm talking about, I pull up to the house, look through the window, and these motherfuckers is locked right in on that shit like they grooving with it. Wild work. What we got going on over here, man? Let me see if I can find this boy. Jimmy Flick's only a plus 190 on here, see, you know. Rightfully so. Yeah, I don't see the kid over here. Let me see if they got him with this other one. Let me see if they got him with this other one. Let me see if they got him on this joint here, man. Yeah, they not playing fair. They not playing fair. They don't have that boy anywhere yet. Not that I can see anyway. Not that I can see anyway, man. So to be determined on Timmy the Twilight. You know what I'm talking about, man? I do appreciate y'all for tapping in. This has been the full card breakdown and predictions for UFC Fight Night. Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. I promise you, the future will leave the nightmare with nightmares in the future. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm going to tap back in a little bit later on and, you know, offer a little bit of some of my personal parlays, early bird type shit that I'm going to go ahead and invest into this afternoon. And then I'm going to get back on here and chop it up with y'all about what I've invested into this afternoon. You know what I'm talking about? Very much like I did last week. And I hope anybody who tuned in, tapped in, tailed that shit. Because Dom and Dan, as the dogs, did the damn thing. You know what I'm talking about? 5-leggers, 6-leggers, 7-leggers, 8-leggers, 10-leggers, skipped over the 9-leggers. You know what I'm talking about? Just went absolutely fucking crazy. It was the all favorites and the swap out options that were absolutely meaningless because what a motherfucker wanted to happen absolutely happened. You know what I'm talking about? So we gonna go ahead and tap in a little bit later on and talk about you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, whole lot of nothing. Same laundromat, different dryer type situation. You already know how it's going down. Peace and blessings.